I am live. Very nice. If you are new or if you are finding the recording, it's 12:57. That means I will start the actual discussion in about 7-8 minutes, right? So you can easily fast forward to 7 minutes or so. In the meantime, if you haven't already, you need to go download the resources at jollyrogerukulele.com, and that is where I post everything. And so you should swing on by there, check the front page. I'll have the resources for today's lesson and the last 400 lessons in a row, or however many lessons we've done at this point. And what else? What else is there? Control Z. Great. All right, let me go get this. It didn't take. People coming in saying that the sound is good. Lanny just showed up. Lanny is in Hawaii right now, and Lanny is making us all jealous. So he's tuned in from Hawaii. I gotta drop in our link on our website, and then everybody will show up. I'm actually on time for a change, which is very exciting. And let's see, update. Okay, so now we should be ready to go. There's that. All right, let's click on view page. Let's make sure that I can get everybody in here quickly. Dun, 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 dun. All right, good. We're all set. Let's play some ukulele. Who else is showing up here? Hold on, I got the thing in the way. Lanny's sitting on a veranda in Hawaii, no doubt. That guy is a brat. That's all the work I'm supposed to be working on. I'm supposed to do all those arrangements. I'll do about 3 of those, and then I'll have a different pile. So that's disgusting. Let's see what else I got going on here. I gotta see what a mess. Here, let's move that out of the way. That's gonna drive me crazy. Put that over. Is that out of view? There, that's better. Now it looks like I get all my work done. Yeah. Here, let me block. I don't know how to block. Oh, I know. I'll block it this way. There. Now you'll think I'm busy, really being official. Let's see. Who else is here? Hey, Lynn. How are you? Lynn's in from New Jersey. New Jersey's getting blown off the map right now, or we did yesterday or something. So I saw a lot of not cool reports from New Jersey, Lynn. I hope you're doing fine. Hey, Sandy. Vive la France to you. Phyllis in bonjour. Phyllis actually has legit claim to being French because she's up there, up north, right? French Canadian. I don't think you're actually French Canadian, but you've been there. Let's see. Terry is in. He's from Denver. We're not too French around here in Denver. We have a place down the block here that does French lessons. That's what we know about France in Denver. Let's see. Uke Noob. Hi, Uke is down in Argentina. Is there any French down in Argentina? I don't know. Probably not, right? It's probably Spanish. Maybe a little Portuguese, maybe. So glad you're here, Uke. Fran. Oh, you found your song for Global Institute? Nice. I'm delighted. Yeah, so a lot of you guys are sort of scrounging around looking for songs, and lately I have been absolutely amazed how when I go to find a piece of sheet music for a particular song that I want, how high quality and for $5 or $6 at musicnotes.com, they almost always have the songs that I'm looking for. They're almost always pretty high quality, and so you ought to take a minute to go get a piece of sheet music to work on. It'd be fun. Yeah, I'm delighted that you found it, friend. That's exciting. Hey, Renee, she's checking in from Les Hauts. That's our French suburb to the west. Yeah, at least you have electricity. I saw last night on the news, a reporter was talking about down power lines, and then one of the transformers blew up right next to her. Like, geez Louise, dangerous stuff out there. Lots and lots of trees down. Yeah, I can't believe it. I can believe it. It's a hurricane, right? It's pretty frightening. It's not like that they never come along there, but boy, that one hit just such a way to just sort of right up the coast there and knock a bunch of trees down. Hey, Diane, you were up in Evergreen golfing yesterday. For those of you who don't know, Evergreen is to the west of town up on the hill, and it's beautiful up there. And you feel like you're in the real mountains, even though you're really not quite in the real mountains yet. But there's a golf course up there that's beautiful and not too hard. The last hole is funny. You hit it once, the ball lands, and it just rolls right all the way down into the green. The last time I played there was a herd of elk on the course, and of course they're messing up the greens. That's just part of what you do up there. You forget how gigantic elk are, and you're there playing golf and trying not to get the elk too riled up. And you're like, God dang, if any of these guys gets mad at me, I am doomed. They're huge. Let's see. Pauline in for a Wednesday. Last night I had dinner with a couple of friends that we trust here in the building that don't do anything like us, and I was positive it was Saturday night. Let's see. Jana's in from Wago. You know, when we're all locked up, every day seems like the next. Red is here. Donna's a saint. I know. What did she do? Put up with me? I know. She is a saint. We love her. Evelyn is in from Ecuador. Laurel is here today. Hump day. Chris is in. Burke is in. Clay is here today. Carol in from Nathrop. Minette in from Glenwood. Let's see. Jacqueline is checking in. You Spanish and Italian mostly. There's some French roots in Buenos Aires. Oh, okay, interesting. Yeah, Italian. I was surprised. Turns out one of the guys that we had dinner with last night, one of them studied Italian in college. I had no idea, and so I'm going to be doing some Petrarch sonnets for a project I'm working on, and he wrote them in Italian, and I have English translations of them, but I always like to double check. And so I'm delighted to find somebody who knows a little Italian. Let's see what else is going on. Q is in the house. Christine is holding up the Bozeman contingency. Vicky is out doing her thing. So let's get started. We'll do the Key of F Arpeggio first. And if I haven't given a sales pitch for the jumping flea arpeggio lately, and I do think that it's not a bad idea for me to do that from time to time. The jumping flea arpeggio comes for the low price of $0. Okay, it is $0. And the nice thing about it is it gives you all of the keys. Now, most keys in life, 20 of the 30, you're never going to play in. You're never, ever going to play them as a ukulele player. But that doesn't mean that you don't need to play these, right? Because the reason you play keys that you're not really going to play in life is to continue to develop all of your understanding and understanding the relationships of things on the keyboard. So, for example, the minute you find out that D turns into an E flat, turns into an E, turns into an F, turns into a G, turns into an A, that relationship shows up in all of these other keys, these what I call them weirdo keys in the book. Keys you're not really going to play in real life, but that once you play through those keys, you're like, oh, I see how music works. I can play anything on any instrument anywhere in the world. And so it takes you beyond what most ukulele players would invite when we're like, I want to play Over the Rainbow and I want to play Riptide, and then I don't know what I do after that. And then you spend your however many months wandering through chord and singing and all that stuff, and then you end up here. And I'm like, well, we're going to talk about the keys, and we're going to talk about intervals, and we're going to talk about all this stuff that seems really really academic. The reason we talk about that stuff is to get you to that highest level where just music makes sense to you. And then if it turns out that the song that you want to work on doesn't necessarily work that well on this instrument, you go grab a different instrument. And by playing through the entire book on this, what it does is it's going to get your right hand and left hand, both of them, just really working together in as smooth a fashion as possible, and just get you the full amount of brain power that I can possibly get to you. So The book is free. There's one typo that I'm aware of, and there's a discussion about another decision I made in here. But for the most part, the two typos that are in here are easily understandable. Like there's not one typo. It's one typo that happens twice. You're not going to be confused by it by the time you find it in the book. And I would say, for 60 some pages of music, that's pretty good. And so I do believe that this is the piece of music that you should open up every single practice session with. Open it up, grab yourself an arpeggio, play through it once or twice, and then close the book and go on to your next thing. I just think it's that good. I've asked all of my students over the years to work out of that book, and in almost every case, and I believe it may be every case, my advanced students figure out that's the good stuff, right? That's the stuff that they need to master and need to conquer so that they can then go off and play the stuff that's in songs that's a little easier or just shows up a little bit. And so don't think that I'm just doing this because I'm trying to get rich off of giving you this book away. Nothing could be further from the truth. I am aware of how this book was put together, and it was basically how can I get myself from playing C, A minor, F, and G to playing A sharp minor, right? How do I go make that process happen? Well, working my way through the book, by the time I get to the last 5 in the book are keys that don't really even exist. They mathematically exist, but nobody plays in those. And even Bach didn't write in his Well-Tempered Clavier, neither version of it did he waste his time on those last 5. And it's not that they're wasted time. They're just mathematically they exist. And so it was fun to create something on the ukulele. You're not going to find that kind of stuff in other books. And so the book's free. Download it, listen to whatever arpeggio you're doing, and then play that arpeggio. If you will do the whole book, I promise, here's what I promise everybody. It's a money back guarantee. I promise if you play all 30 of those arpeggios, play them with the intent of becoming a better player, that you will get to the end of that book and you will be a very fine ukulele player. You will be at a level that nobody else in your town is. Okay. And I watched it happen time and time again. Those students of mine, or sometimes they're not even students, they're just people I know playing ukulele here in town. And I tell them, you should play this. And the ones that go through it, all of a sudden, by the time they get to it at the end, they're thinking differently. They understand how music goes together. And they really, really, really do benefit from the book. And I did not write the book to benefit you. I wrote the book to benefit me. And so if I needed this stuff when I was first getting started and I used that stuff to become a really fine player, then it will work for you too. So that's my pep talk on the Jumping Flea Arpeggiator. You should have it in a little file on your computer, every computer you have. Jumping Flea Arpeggiator. And in there you should have all of this MP3s unpacked so that you can just click on them and listen to them. And then that book, you just open it up. And as you know, the book is written it's not in the right order. When I do a second edition of this someday, I will put them in a smarter order. But you go to the very last page and it gives you the suggested learning sequence, and you should follow that. You shouldn't just go from front to back. It won't work out for you. Follow that little suggested learning sequence on the very back of the book, and then you will be able to you'll be happy as a clam. Okay, so that's it. That's what I have to say about it. Also, there is one page in the front. It's got a lot of words on it. Nobody ever reads it. I promise you should probably read it, okay, because it's got a little bit of instruction on what type of strumming to do. I didn't put very much instruction in the book because at the time I was writing this, I didn't know very much about how music theory worked on this. Now I know everything about music theory and how it works on this. And so when I publish book 2, or the second edition of this book, I got to fix those couple of typos. There will be lots and lots of instruction that go with this. I do think it'll still be free. I've thought about whether I should charge for the second edition. It's that good. Honestly, if you can buy no other books and just play this one, and you will end up a very high level level ukulele player, and you don't have to buy all those other books. And so I thought, well, God, I should be making some money off of this thing. But it's not that kind of, that's not my idea here. My idea is I want everybody on this planet to go through this book, to play everything in here, to understand everything in here, and then come to me and say, I don't know, I'm not that great of a player, because it won't happen. You go through that book, this one book, the only book, and you will be a fine player. It's not going to hurt you at all to show up here every day and play some songs as well, right? That's going to be a added benefit. But really, I can't emphasize enough, if you can play everything in this book, you're going to be the best player in your town. Okay, and that wouldn't be too bad, would it? Okay. All right, that's my sales pitch. Who snuck in while I was busy jabbing? Diane is here yesterday and today. No, Gary, just Diane. See how Gary is? This is why you don't trust Garys. Okay, they just all of a sudden take a couple days off. Hey Patty, welcome in. Q, what do you mean by the book and how do you get it? The Jumping Flea Arpeggiator, it is on the website, both on the Global Institute at the very top. It's also sitting on the teacher tab. Okay, so just go get the Jumping Flea Arpeggios. It's sitting on about almost at the bottom of the teacher tab, Jumping Flea Arpeggiator, and then it's also on the Global Institute page. So download it from either of those links, but you should download the book and the sound files, and you should use it. Okay, it's really, really good. All right, let's see. What do you mean by that? Jennifer's here listening. Linda's in late. Lynn, Jumping Flea Arpeggiator. I'll play the arpeggios because they are great. I can't be the best ukulele player in town because they live in the same town you. No, seriously, Terry, it's not that hard to be a better player than me. Just don't listen to this. Don't be a Gary. I spend almost all my time writing music. You can't be a better ukulele music writer than I am. Nobody's better than that. But, well, is Colin better? I don't know if Colin's better. Colin gives me a run for my money. He's in Ireland. I don't think anybody beats me on this, but a lot of players are better than me at playing, and I am perfectly comfortable with that because that's what they're working on, right? I spend 2-3 hours a day actually playing, right? And I know lots of people who that's the minimum they play, and so I don't recommend it. I think half an hour a day is plenty on ukulele. You're not going to get into conservatory and ukulele, so what are you doing? You should be working on something else. But it's not that hard to be a better player than I am. I'm perfectly comfortable with that. It's very hard to be a better writer than I am when it comes to this stuff because I do it all day long, every day. All right, Elizabeth had to make a glass of iced tea. I'm giving this very important, very philosophical future of ukulele, and Elizabeth, who's one of those players who is really, really fine, is out making iced tea. So that's how this works. Good afternoon from sunny Florida. Nancy, love to have you in. That's so exciting. I don't know if we've had anybody from Florida. Nancy, you're walking in kind of in the end of the beginner stuff, so hopefully I don't overwhelm you and make you sad today. And Vic is here today as well, being very kind. Thank you, Vic. She says I'm a good teacher. I'm an okay teacher. I talk too much, right? So let's play some music instead. That's what we got to do. Let's talk about the Key of F Arpeggios. Okay, F chord, index, middle. Hopefully that's who you are. Okay. Next chord comes up as a D minor. Okay, you're gonna hold your F chord. You're gonna grab your D minor. Okay, so don't let your F off. Put your ring finger on to make your D minor. One of the things that we always are trying to do is trying to do nothing over on your left hand. That way the notes will just keep going while you're busy getting the next thing on. So do the least amount possible. So if you're holding an F, don't pull the F off and then go put your D minor on. Don't do that, right? It's going to stop the sound from coming out of your ukulele, make you sound choppy. F chord, D minor, okay? And these two guys don't move at all. Next one's B flat to get from D minor to B flat. What I want you to do is bar chord goes up, A chord comes on, okay? Bar up, A shape on, okay? That's what I want you to do. When I play this, what you will see is I'm in D minor. I put a half a bar on here and I add these two on. That's because that's the way I was taught. It's not ideal, okay? It'll be fine. But I would rather you do a full bar than a partial bar. Okay, it's gonna be better down the road. I'm just now noticing I did not shave today. I had a run-in with the FedEx guy, and it was not pretty, and I got all out of whack. And so, um, under the best of circumstances, I understand my face is hard to look at, so I'm even worse today. Now, measure, where were we at? B flat. When you go to measure 7, again, don't lift anything up. You just slide up to the C chord, okay? And those of you guys who hang around here and hang out with me know this is the C chord you got taught, right? This is the one you learned from the book that came with your ukulele. That's the one you want to be your C chord. I will tell you, it's a lovely C chord. I love this chord. This is why we play ukulele. Is that right there, okay? But this C chord, either a full bar in the A shape in front of it or a half bar in the A shape in front of it, is a far more useful C chord, okay? Because now I'm in charge of it. Or I can make it lift up. You know, we talked about staccato playing with the cucaracha song, right? Dun, 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 right? And so I'm in charge of all of the strings when I play this C chord. I'm in charge of one string when I play this C chord. And you can hear that sound ringing through. So open chords, while we love them as a newer player, as a more experienced player, you're going to be less and less enchanted with them because you have less and less control over the sound of the ukulele when you do that. All right. Then in the arpeggio, now it's going to go back through the same exact chord pattern. It's just the right hand pattern will change. F, D minor, B flat, and C. Same chord shapes, but instead we'll be changing our right pattern. Then when you get down to measure 17, I'm just busy telling you this is D, F chord, add this as a D minor. Now we're going to be doing D minor up on 5. Okay, and those of you guys who've been around a while are getting comfy with this one. Bar on 5, ring finger up on 7. Okay, so that's the D minor we're going to be using. Make sure you know what that is here. Anytime you add a bar, you're really playing a different chord, just in a weird spot. So what you're really playing is your A minor. Okay, that's what you're really doing, but you're playing it with a ring finger, and your bar is right there. Okay, that's A minor. Well, when I slide it up for 2, now it's a B minor. Slide it up 1 more, it's a C minor. Slide it up 2 more, it's a D minor. Okay, so you're really just playing an A minor on the 5th fret. 5th fret, add your A minor. Okay, that's what that D minor is. And then right after that D minor comes B flat. Okay, and that's right here. You're just going to add your middle finger on, take it off, put it on, dun, 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 dun. That's what you're going to be doing there. And again, this isn't really a B flat. It's really an F chord. It's really, you're just making that F chord. Here's your bar. Slide it up 1, you got F sharp, G, slide it up a couple, A sharp, or more popularly known as B flat in ukulele world. Okay, so that's what you're doing here. You're just playing an F chord on 5. That's a B flat. Okay, so in that little section at the end of the first page, open, close, open, close. Okay, D minor, B flat, D minor, B flat, D minor, B flat. That's not an unimportant relationship. It's going to come up a million times when you're playing stuff that we do. And then the hard part is when you go from page, you're sitting right here and you got to get to page 2, measure 23. You got to slide this back 2 and lift your middle finger up 1 to get the C chord. 1, and then you're going to go slide back to get the F chords. Dun, dun. Okay. When we get to just the individual note plucking, you guys know most of the time I want you to either be doing a thumb down pluck or some version of the claw. Okay. What I do and what you probably should be thinking about is when you've got a straight line melody that happens in measure 25, 26, and 27, don't one note at a time, probably thumb is going to be ideal because you can be it's not fast, right? Thumb is kind of slow, but it gives you great tone and it really makes you sound very clean and really the tones connected and all of that. Probably. Now, some of you are also working on using these two guys as your principal plucking instruments. I encourage that a lot, but I know from years of working on this sounds fine, this sounds fine, this sounds a little better. Okay, so just know that I when you watch me play, I way overuse my thumb because I'm going for good tone. That's what I'm after, is I really want that. It's not that I don't work on the other stuff. It's not that I don't know that that's important to work on, but when I'm trying to present or when I'm playing for you guys or playing for a gig or whatever, I'm gonna thumb, right? Let's see what else I got to talk about. Notice you on page 2, you start getting the glissandos start showing up. I don't think we have any. We have no glissandos on the first page, so you're going to play the whole thing with your claw. You get to those glissandos at measure 24 and measure 28. You know, so this is what is intended there. A big, beautiful downstrum. You hear every single string, every single note coming out beautiful. Okay, and then when we get down to the repeat, 29, 30, 31, measure 32, blunk, we go back to the plucking, F, 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 and we're going to go all the way to the top of the song and play it back down through. And then when we get to the ending, it's just hanging out of those chords. In this book, the entire book, with almost no exceptions, you should grab the chord prior to undertaking the measure. Grab that chord, figure out what you're supposed to do. Most of the time, most of the notes will be under your chord. You're going to have to modify it a little bit, and especially the further we get into the book, the more modifications you're going to make. But as we get further into the book, it's about rhythm. It's about weird right hand techniques. It's about, you know, how does a rest sound different than a half note? This type of stuff. And so the book itself will actually teach you more than just how to play ukulele. It will really teach you how to understand music. And so that's what I want. That's what I needed at the time I wrote it, and never intending ever to just teach it to people. I intended to give it away, and I did that. The minute I had it done and I finally had it on PDF, I was like, I'm putting it on Ukulele Underground. And back in the day, there was 7 of us on Ukulele Underground. And I put it up there, and they're like, good job. I don't understand what it is. And then they moved on, right? And because on Ukulele Underground, and to this day, it's really about what are the chords for this? What's the strum pattern for this? Which is fine. It's fine, right? That's an important stuff. But they've got a bunch of guys on there now that are much higher level thinking and really digging into the subtleties of ukulele. I just happened to be at a time when I put that up there that nobody was interested in it. And still, I have to force people to convince them that this is something that they should be working on. All right, let's get started. Let's go ahead and play it. Fran says, be nice to yourself. There are already enough people who are not. Oh, yeah, be nice. I don't need to be. I know myself, and I know that I don't need to be too nice on him. Let's see. Judy, greetings. Hey, Judy. What is arpeggio? Arpeggio. What is arpeggio? That's a great question. This is chord. Let's use this chord. Now let's use F, because I want to start. This is F chord. Okay. This sound, this sound, this sound, this sound. When we run them all together, it's a chord. Okay. If I pick any one of those, note, that's an A. Note, that's a C. Note, that's an F. Note, that's an A. Turns out this A and this A are the same sound. Okay. That's one of the fun parts about ukulele. That's a chord. If I take it and strum it, glissando, that's how we're playing that. If I take a claw and I grab all 4, that's also the chord. Okay, it's a plucked chord. Okay? Very different idea, right? If I'm playing and I'm going to go charge you $60 to come listen to me, hopefully I never do that. If I play an F chord this way, or if I play an F chord this way, I'm telling you a very different story. Right? The other way that I can play is arpeggio, which is when we divide up the chord. 1, 2, 3, 4. But we do it. So we take the chord and break it into pieces. On a piano, if you held down this key, this key, this key, dun, 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 that's a C chord. If I'm blong, okay. And the other thing I can do with it is an arpeggio. C, E, G, C, E, G, C, E, G. Okay, so what we're doing is we're taking the chord, dividing it up into pieces, the pieces that make it up, and then playing them in some type of pattern. And throughout this book, we take every chord that I could think of and do this pattern and this pattern and this pattern and another pattern, and sometimes strumming and sometimes not strumming. And so that was one of the goals I wanted to do. I want to get my right hand as smart as I could, as iffy as a player as I was back in the day. I knew 2 things. I knew 2 things for sure. One, melody is where it's happening. I want to make sure that I don't have to have sound coming out of my face in order for people to know what song I'm playing. And the second thing I knew was that this tells you what type of music you're going to make, but this tells you what kind of music. This tells you what the music's going to be about, right? So this is like, here's an F chord, okay? But there's that F chord, this F chord, that F chord, right? That F chord. There's lots of this one. lots of F chords, okay? And there's this F chord, and then there's Renee's F chord, right? So we have, this tells you the type of music you're gonna make, but this is what makes the music, and I knew I got to get control of my right hand. Okay, done a lot of talking. Hopefully I've given you enough of a sales pitch to take this book seriously. It's free. You should play it from top to bottom based on the suggested learning sequence. When you get to A sharp minor, you send me an email and you say, Gary, I just played the entire book and I'm an awesome player now. Thank you. That's what the email should say. All right, let's get going. All right, from the top, we'll go slow. It's supposed to be at 140, which is pretty fast. That's probably too fast, okay? So let's take our time and go slow. I did want to make one other mention. No fingernails, right? No fingernails, none. That's what your left hand should look like. Okay, ladies, I know it's a bummer. You can still have them put your Oakland Raiders stickers or, you know, Denver Broncos stickers. They can still fit on those. Okay, they can do it. Okay, but you can't have anything. Okay, this hand is controversial. Okay, right now I've been growing mine out because I'm getting to stay home more, so I'm growing them out so I can pluck a little bit. But normally I have these cut off too because they break off. If you have a real life, if you have to do the dishes, if you have to pick up a box, if you have to, you know, whatever you do in life, chances are you're not going to be able to grow your fingers out very effectively. Gentlemen, ladies, you might, well, and they shouldn't be sexist like that. Like a man can go in and have some nail work done and they will put on, you know, a little bit stronger material on here and stuff, but then you got to maintain that. So while I'm growing them out right now, I was just noticing as I was showing you something that these are grown out a little bit. They won't last very long because I know how my life is and I know pretty quickly they're going to get cut off. These are useful in the sense that it gives you two choices. I can play with the pad of my finger or I can play with my fingernail. But honestly, I'm full-time in music and I can't keep the darn things on the end of my fingers. So what's the chance of you doing very well? So, but if you are a fingernail person, just cut these off, get them fancy done right here, and then maybe grow these out a little bit and put a little bit of a fake nail on top of there, and then you will be officially a ukulele weirdo. Okay? All right. Claw shape, please. F chord, please. Top to bottom, we're not going to stop. 1, 2, 3, 4. Top. To Groovy, right? Groovy. If you can pull that off, you can pull off the whole entire book, right? That's a lot in the beginning. Those bar chords can be really daunting. That this business of you're going to sound like that a little bit in the beginning. Even today, as I'm doing some of my bar chords, there's still a couple of dead notes coming out. It's never going to go away completely. That's part of the joy of playing music is you're never really sure, right? But it is, it gets better. It gets better, right? You got to be pretty strong. Like right now, I can definitely tell right in this area, I've just used this muscle pretty heavily. And you want to make sure that you are comfortable with that process. Okay. I get a lot of people who are like, I need to know how to do bar chords right this minute. And you no, you don't. No, you don't. You need to work on them today and you need to work on them tomorrow and you need to work on them 6 weeks from now and 6 months from now and 6 years from now. They're hard. They're going to make you sound great. They're going to get you completely in control of your ukulele, but sometimes they're going to be a mess. And sometimes early on, they're more of a mess than they are down the road, but there are always going to be a bit of a challenge. And so there you go. Let's see. Easing in like damn job. Cat, we got to get you to retire. This is ridiculous. Me missing ukulele class. All right. Jumping flea arpeggiator. There's your sales pitch. There's the F chord. F chord is technically the second song you're supposed to do. I've been using it as the third one because it's a little demoralizing. And so I want you to make sure that you don't misunderstand how important I think that book is. I don't expect you to get great at any of the songs, but I do think that you should take them seriously. They're actually going to make you a great player. And really, that's what we're here. Mostly we're here to have fun, right? Mostly here we're just to have fun. But if it turns out that you're a great musician a year from now or 6 months from now or 2 years from now or 5 years from now, this would have been worth it, right? Okay. Kat sent me a very kind email the other day. I'm in love with Kat right now. Glad you're here, Kat. Love it. I need a lot of practice to get there, but I'm committed to work on it. Yeah, right. You work on it a little bit, right? We're going to play Vive la Companie right now. It's way, way, way easier to play than that one we just played. But there's going to be plenty of stuff on this one that gives us a little bit of a heck too, you know? So let's go through and figure out what's in this one that reminds us of what we just played and see how we can conquer that and win, right? Elizabeth, sitting here sipping tea, watching your fingers, left hand tips are very vertical. Right hand thumb is graceful. Looks easy, relaxed, no wasted effort. I'm being judged by Elizabeth. One of the things that because people say that a lot, that I come at these chords, you know, pretty straight up and down, right? And I don't think about that anymore, but in the beginning, yeah, you have to think about it, right? These really do come in pretty straight into this, vertically down toward this. The reason is, of course, and a lot of you have already figured this out, if you come in kind of flat, your fingers are going to be laying on the string underneath it and your tone is going to go down. So to have good tone, you really do have to get your fingers laying in vertically, vertically, coming straight down in on top of your strings. And the only way to make sure that that's going to happen for you long term is to make sure that this isn't happening, because you can see what happens. It's just clear as a bell. As my thumb comes up, the rest of my fingers have to come down to compensate for it, and that's going to be doomed for you. Okay, keep your thumb where it's supposed to be. You got a shot at having around fingers. Okay, and you can watch a ukulele video after ukulele video after ukulele video, and if their tone is crummy, it's almost always you see this going on. There's a free photo out there right now. You type in ukulele into the free web search things. I use that. I have to use free, copyright free images a lot, and so I will go to this one site called Pixabay and type in ukulele, and then I see if any new images have come up. And the one that's like right on the very front is this guy holding a ukulele. He looks like he's young and he's cool, and his thumb's up here, and he's doing this, and every single thing that he's doing is wrong, and you're just like, ugh. And I know people look at that and they don't know how hard he's making his future as a musician. So let's see, you must be set straight down perpendicular floor. Oh, right. In order to do that, right, to get there, don't do that. Vive la Companie. Let's play it. All don't think I have anything to tell you important. I got emails are going to be coming out about your future in ukulele, and I'll have you read those coming up over the next week or so. Tomorrow we're doing "A vous diriger maman." That's the fancy phrase for "Twinkle Twinkle Little Star," and then I'm just now finishing up "Beyond the Sea." It was giving me a little bit of a fuss, but it's not terrible, and it should be fun to play. And it's a great song. It really is. Somewhere beyond the sea. It's going to be fun to play that one. So, all right. Could you show how your thumb stands when you do a D chord? I'm having a hard time So D chord, right here. Okay, thumb is right there, hanging out right behind where the middle finger is. Okay, everything is exactly as round as I can keep it. Okay, there's my thumb. There's what the front looks like. All that looks like that. Okay, if your ukulele is too small, you're not going to be able to fit everybody in there cleanly, and then you're going to end up laying down on top of this, right? So again, be thinking about nice round fingers, thumb right behind your middle finger. Don't see my thumb. Okay, it's hanging out back here. That's what a D chord looks like. If you're on too small of a ukulele, you may want to drop your index finger down and put your middle finger up there. For some people, this is a little easier if you have kind of thicker fingers to get them into the fretboard. This is one of the very few not right ways to play that I overlook, right? Because if you got real thick fingers, it's almost impossible, even on a tenor, to get them all to fit in there. So people do that. Okay, if their fingers are even bigger than that, then we start talking about baritone, ukulele, and guitar, right? Because you just don't have enough room for that. Moving to guitar doesn't solve the problem. The strings are actually closer together on guitar than they are on ukulele. So ukulele, we actually have quite a bit of room to move around on. It doesn't seem like it when this is your main instrument, but it's actually rather roomy as a fretboard. So, okay. All right. Vive la Companie. I want to get into this song. I told you we're doing La Mer, and then Friday we play everything, right? So it's getting to be Friday already. We got a busy day on Friday. We got a lot of French tunes to play, so we'll get all that posted up there and ready to go. So by the end of today I'll have La Mer, Vive la, somewhere over the sea, beyond the sea, posted, and we'll be ready to rock for Friday. So I try to make it on Friday. A lot of you guys take Fridays off. What the heck is that about? All right, and now Vive la Companie is an old Boy Scout song, and as I was looking into it, they're not entirely sure where this song came from. It's got French words in it, so we're putting it in the French songs department, and it's probably an Irish song, actually, is what as far as I could tell. There was between Wikipedia and other sources on the web, we're not sure, but we do know it's got a great idea behind it. Let every good yellow dove join in the song, Vive la Companie. And so it's very much of a song you would sing at if you were standing around the bar in Germany, these kinds of things. And it's a fun song. So let's get going on. I'll keep trying to have a soprano and a tenor, but my thumb wants to point to the body. Your thumb wants to go this way. Your thumb wants to do that. Don't do that. Yeah, I think I do. I've had little kids do this a lot. I've had they will do this kind of thing, and then they'll be holding it here. They're just trying to get their hand stronger so that they can do that. I've also had little kids play it like this, where their thumb drops down below here. And again, what's happening there is people are trying to use their hand as a substitute for building up the muscle on their thumb. And so when you do this, well, then the ukulele can sit right in your palm, and you think you're fine, right? You're fine if you're playing a C chord, kind of, but it's not. That's what's going on there. And so if your thumb is doing something that mine wasn't, you're probably hitching this up and trying to get some extra pressure on here, and then I can see where it will end up this way. You no. That's the pad of your thumb. The pad of your thumb goes on the fat part of the neck. That's it. That's the whole story right there. Okay. There's never going to change. There's never, ever any song, any technique, nothing that you will ever need to have your thumb anywhere else. Okay, and I know, there's a couple of ukulele teachers out there who will teach you this, right? They teach you that. Don't Don't tell them, but they're making our lives way, 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 way harder for nothing, for no reason. There's absolutely no reason why you would ever do that. Okay, first note is a 3, right? Let's sing it first. It's kind of fun to sing. So let's do the chords. You got a C chord. But every good, and then you got your D minor. We just did that in the other song. Okay, fellow now, and we talked about this the other day. D minor is often followed by G7. Join in this song, Vive la Companie. Okay, and when you're first starting, that from C to G7. Hopefully that's something that you're getting comfy with. Okay, so from C, D minor is making your F chord first and then adding your ring finger. G7, don't lift up your index finger, just drop these two, and then to C. Okay, the first measure, and then it repeats. The first 2 lines here are all just the same thing twice. Okay, and then measure 9. Vive la, vive la, vive l'amour. So you go to F, go to your G7. Vive la, vive la, vive l'amour. A minor, vive l'amour. D minor, don't move that finger. It's in the right place already. Just add your index, add your ring. Vive l'amour. Drop it down. Vive la compagnie. Okay. Now I haven't sang this since I put out this version this morning. So I don't know. I haven't sung it. So who knows what will happen. I tried to on the little book, this little book that I give you guys. I have this with a fewer chords in it in there, and so it's actually a little. It's got all 4 chords in here, but I added in a couple extra because it seemed like it made it sound nicer. Okay. So you got the fancy version. Okay? It's in 6. We usually count 6 in 2. So we'll go 1, 2, and then we start. The reason we usually count 6 in 2, if you look at the sheet music, look at just the notes, don't look at the tabs. Look at the standard notation. You'll see a group of 3 followed by another group of 3, followed by another group of 3. Measure 2, you got a dotted quarter note. Well, that's worth 3/8 notes, right? So as you look through the piece, you'll see group of 3, 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 group of 3. Well, it's 1, 2. 1, 2, and sometimes we could count it as 1 monkey, 2 monkey, 1 monkey, 2 monkey, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so that's how you think of 6/8 time. It's kind of like a march, but a prettier march, I guess. All right, so let's do the chords. 1, 2. Let every good fellow now join in this song. Vive la compagnie. Success to each other and pass it along. Vive la compagnie. Vive la, vive la, vive l'amour. Vive la, vive la, vive l'amour. Vive l'amour, vive l'amour. Vive la compagnie. Let's do it again. 3. A friend on your left and let me get it right. A friend on your left and a friend on your right. Vive la compagnie. We'll banish whoops, I went on the wrong line. In love and good fellowship, let us unite. Vive la compagnie. Vive la, vive la, vive l'amour. Vive la, vive la, vive l'amour. Vive l'amour, vive l'amour. Vive la compagnie. One more time. With friends all around. I keep missing that chord change. With friends all around, we will sing out our song. Vive la compagnie. We'll banish our troubles, it won't take us long. Vive la compagnie. Vive la, vive la, vive l'amour. Vive la, vive la, vive l'amour. Vive l'amour, vive l'amour. Vive la compagnie. I'm going to get the last verse right. Should time or occasion compel us to part, vive la compagnie. These days shall forever enliven our hearts. Vive la compagnie. I close. Vive la, vive la, vive l'amour. Vive la, vive la, vive l'amour. Vive l'amour, vive l'amour. Vive la compagnie. Okay. I can't sing. The idea, though, is you can get the sense of it. It says, bum, 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 ba-da, bum, 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 right? So we want to. So you probably that's how you would end up playing it anyway, with just chords and just pounding on your ukulele. C chord, D minor, G7, C. Right, just really getting after it. That's the kind of song that this really wants to be. But of course, you're in instrumental ukulele class, and we gotta dude it up, right? So let's play the melody now. Okay, you got some threes, you got some Z2s, you got some ones, so you know you're gonna be in first position, right? And then every now and then a five's gonna sneak in on that first section. You got it shows up twice, so I'm probably just gonna reach my pinky up to grab that five. Just know that that's gonna happen. Okay, then when you get to measure 9, it's going to go way up the fretboard, right? You go all the way up to 8. And so when we go up to 8, 8, 7, 6, 5, we usually put index finger on 5, 6, 7, and 8, right? So if you're on 7, you probably want your ring finger, pinky on 8, index on 5, back to 7, and then it slides down to first position again. 3, 3s, 5s, 2s, 3s. Okay. All right, let's give it a try. Just the melody. All right, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 2, 0, 3, 0, 1, 0, 3, 3, 3, 5, 2, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 2, 0, 3, 0, 1, 0, 3, 3, 3, 5, 2, 3. Okay, slide up. 7, 7, 7, 7, 7, 7, 8, 8, 8, 8. 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 7, 7, 7, 7. 3, 3, 3, 3. 5, 5, 5, 5. 2, 2, 2, 0, 2, 3. Let's play it one more time from the top. Ready, go. 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 2, 0, 3, 0, 1, 0. 3, 3, 3, 5, 2, 3. 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 2, 0, 3, 0, 1, 0. 3, 3, 3, 5, 2, 3. 7, 7, 7, 7, 7, 7, 8, 8, 8, 8. 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 7, 7, 7, 7. 3, 3, 3, 3. 5, 5, 5, 5. 2, 2, 2, 0, 2, 3. Okay. Now, one of the things that occurred to me as we were playing this is that those notes are coming at you pretty quick, and I'm not playing them super fast. I'm playing them about at the speed that they're meant to be played at. But that can be a lot. Like you're like, oh my God, it's going so fast. And what's going to happen this fall, we're going to go into orchestra mode. Okay. Orchestra mode will, on Monday nights, we're going to switch from instructional to performance. Okay. And when we do switch to performance, you're going to get super fast, very adept, very comfortable with playing melody, just like that. The faster, faster, faster. We're going to turn every last one of you guys into a lead guitarist, right? Where you just take Slash and push him out of the way. You take Eddie Van Halen, push him out of the way. You take whoever is your favorite guitarist, get them out of the way, because you're going to be fast. And that's what orchestra is going to do for you in terms of your playing ability, is get where you can play a melody like that and not really lose sleep. Oh, yeah, he's going pretty fast. All right, I better pick up the pace. And that's what our goal will be for the fall, is get you fast, comfortable, super adept at playing just melody. And then of course we, at every song we have you switch, right? So then you'll also be getting all your chord work in, and getting your rhythm put together. So then you'll have rhythm, harmony, and melody all put together as one. This is timbre. This is the instrument you're going to use to do that. But by the time December rolls around and it's time to do you play some Christmas tunes for the folks, you're going to be knocking it out. You're going to be like, you're pretty good. You should. What? How do you do that? All right. So how are we doing on time? Perfect. All right. Let's walk through the tough uke. We'll walk through the whole thing, and then we'll play it a few times. If I play it well the first couple of times, then we call it. If I play it horribly the first couple of times, then we'd go back. Okay. Terry was very kind. You're a better ukulele player than me. No, not always. Right. Often I'm the worst. All right. Start with your 3, and then a nice, beautiful C chord, and 2 more 3s. Now, while you're playing that, you're realizing, shoot, I should have used a different finger because I am now going to need to get all of these fingers on. D minor plus your 3. So now we've learned, why don't we just start with pinky and then we don't have to do anything. Okay, so let's try that. 3, C, 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 add your D minor, strum, pull it back, 2, O. Now, the chord is a G7, but the tablature is very clear that the melody is happening on the G note there. Just make a regular G chord. G, O, 1, O. Okay. So grab your C chord. C, 3, 3. And now you're going to have to very quickly get this G chord with your pinky up on 5. Okay, but you got a quarter note there. You got to be like, got it. Lose the pinky, hit the 2, and then go to your C chord again. Okay. That's just a pretty note. Bong. Go back to your pinky. D minor. 2. G chord. Open. 1. Okay. C chord. G chord with your pinky. Lose the pinky. And then C chord. Okay, that's it. Okay, same exact thing twice in a row. You only got to learn 1 through 4, and then you have 2/3 of the song finished. 3/4 of the song finished, it turns out. Okay, so learn those first 4 chords, get the first 4 measures, get those really solid, and then you jump into the next thing. Okay, okay. Measure 9, you think, oh, things look pretty legit melody-wise. It's just same note over and over and over, but this is where things get a lot harder than you want them to be. Okay, go grab your 7, probably with your ring finger. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and then you're going to grab your 8 and your bar at the same time. Bar on 5, pinky on 8. Okay, that so far you could live with that, hopefully, right? We got opens chords. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Renee chord. Okay, then we are going to go to this G7. So this is the G7 that you were taught. Okay, this is the G7 you're going to be playing all the time. So just get used to this one. On the 5, 5 has a dot on it, right? Your set probably has it out here on front. 3rd string, 1st string, probably your ring finger here. Some people will use their pinky on there, but if your hands are big enough, I would use your ring finger. Okay, that's the G7 you want. That G7, you want to go ahead and get to know that G7. It's coming up in your life. Okay, that G7 is going to come up. Okay, let's play that measure. Back to your open 7s. A minor with the 3. We do this one all the time. It sounds beautiful. Okay, next page. Get your bar chord from our arpeggio study. Bar on 5, ring on here. It's really an A minor on 5. Okay, play that. Those 2 last 5s are just decorative. Dum, dum. The reason I like them is I was listening to a bunch of YouTube versions of this, and I heard some band do that. Bum, bum. He did a nice, cool little lift. The piano player did it with their bass notes. Bum, bum, and lifted up into the next idea. And I'm like, I'm going to add that into the ukulele version. That's cool. Okay. Dun, dun, dun. And then back to your real G7. Lose your ring finger. Put it back. C. Okay. Dum, bum, bum, bum. And then remember to go back to your pinky on that. Okay. You ready? All right. Big thought is we're going to slow it down, right, for now till we get it where it's under our hands. And then when you go to your local pub, right? Some of you have pubs. Don't go to the pub because there's a horrible disease going around, and you get it from the pub. So don't go there. All right. Actually, you usually get it from your cousin. All right. From the top, we'll go nice and slow. 1, 2. And I just realized I didn't put the zeros underneath. That tough ukers, measure 17. There should be 3 zeros under that the first note in there. Should be a chord on the front, then the 0, and then another chord. That's how we want to finish it up. So I forgot to transfer those zeros over. There. What do you think? That's a fun song. I love that song. Can't go here. Governor closed. Oh, yeah. Good. Good. Don't go to the bar. Good. Our governor was like, no, 10 o'clock. That's it. You'll get coronavirus out at 10:01, so don't go there. What? All right, fine. Then when you just bomb boomed it, you had every note right. Did I? So think of it that way, right? Bum ba da bum ba da bum ba da bum bum ba da bum ba bum pa pa. So, so we like those. We like getting it as silly as possible and getting as much boom boom feeling into it. So when you just bombed it, you had every note right, right, nice. Sometimes I don't get the notes right. I don't worry about getting everything right. You guys have maybe figured this out. It's the difference between being a professional performer, right, where you got to get everything right. It's got to sound beautiful. People got to weep with tears that they paid $35 to come see you, or $90 if it's a Broadway thing. And you got to be, that's what you do. You perform, you got to be good. I don't worry about that. I don't think you should worry about that. That's not you, right? That's not me. What we're doing is we're trying to enjoy music. We're trying to get better. We're trying to find a way to make music that's joyful and filled with life. And this is how we do it. This is the right instrument, right? And so there you go. That's a fun song. I hope you have fun with that this week. Tomorrow we have. Let me double check because I already got it all confused in my head. Twinkle Twinkle Little Star, and I'm giving you a tough version of that one. And we'll do the full on fingerstyle one, and then Beyond the Sea is turning out. It's it'll be fun to see how we do on it. And then of course Friday we've got our concert. So beginning to at home when you're spending a little bit of time, just spend a little time practicing, running through all the songs, making sure that you have been to all of those sessions for the week. If you missed any, just go grab the archives. They're all on the website. And I think I'm having a great week. I hope you guys are enjoying the music. I know a lot of these songs are not stuff you run into on a daily basis, but it's good for us, right? Hopefully. I don't know. All right, that's it. You guys have one. Get out of here. Yeah, it's wonderful. I'm 90 degrees and about 90% humidity today, so I don't know. We're having an iffy day, I'd say, weather-wise. Jennifer, glad you were here. Sandy, Governor, close them all. Don't go to the bar, right? The bars are worse for two things: getting drunk and kissing people, and both of those things give you the bug. So don't go do that. Manette, have a great time. Stay home. Get a bottle of wine out. Play some ukulele music. That's what you should do. All right. Thanks, Patty. Have a great day. I'll see you tomorrow. Renee, thank you, Gary. Yep, we're gonna keep doing it, Renee, until we run out of F chords. So thanks for being here. Pauline, that's great. Have a wonderful day. You noob, great class. Gary, learned a lot. I need to practice my D chord though. Send me a video of your D chord, you noob, and I will assess your D chord on video, right? And video, you just video it, stick it on your phone, stick it in Dropbox, send me the link to your Dropbox, and I can look at it that way. It's how we do it. Jackie, glad you're getting better at arpeggios. This is hard stuff, guys. It should not be something that you think that anybody can do. You're here to learn how to do this stuff. It's very hard. This alone is super hard. Okay, so I'm glad that you're feeling comfortable with that. Good to see you, Lanny. Straighten those Hawaiians out for us. Appreciate you doing that. Chris, have a wonderful day. Lynn, I might be late tomorrow. Lynn, don't be late. All right, it's okay tomorrow. Let's see. Tomorrow we start with Twinkle Twinkle Little Star. You'll be fine. Evelyn, beautiful melodies, fun melodies, right? Fun songs today. Red, unique is my yes. Unique is your middle name, Red. Big hug to you, bud. Elizabeth, oh, that's very kind, Elizabeth. They're either very lucky or very plagued with with terror, right? Sandy, loved it. Have a great day. Phyllis, very enjoyable. Merci. Yeah. À demain. Noob, we'll see you soon. Carol, have a great day. My B flat is your B flat came through. Ta-da! Right? How long have you been working with me? 3 months? Okay, and your B flat's done. Ta-da! It's never done, but it's coming better. That's what we want. Yes. Linda, looking for a harder version of Twinkle. Let me go double check. I think that's the Twinkle that I put up. Let me just make sure I'm not funning you. Abu Dirige Maman. Yeah, go play Abu Dirige Maman. That's the hard version of Twinkle. Go do it. It's that's the one that's on the website. Go get it. All right, kids. Have a wonderful day. Thanks for everything. I will see you all tomorrow.